Hi all, good morning. Let us discuss about the subject cryptography and network security. So, in this subject, we are actually dealing with what you mean by network security, security attacks, security mechanisms, security services, what do you mean by cryptography, what are the cryptographic techniques that we are used in a network, etc. So, moving on to the topic, what is computer security? A security that is related with computer. Computer is actually a combination of software and hardware. So, the security that is related with a computer is known as computer security. That means uh, we are giving protection to the files that are stored on the computer. Okay, that means protecting files and other information that is stored on the computer is known as computer security. So it's actually a generic name for collection of tools designed to protect data, uh, is known as computer security. And next topic is network security. What do you mean by network security? So already we had discussed what you mean by computer security. That means we are providing security to a particular computer or security to the files that is stored or the information that is stored on a particular computer. That is actually computer security. Next we are dealing with network security. So what do you mean by a network? Network means it's a combination of one or more computers by using some communication channel. Maybe it's a wired communication or it's a wireless communication. Okay, that is actually a network. If we are using large number of interconnected networks, then that network is known as internet. So, the security that is related with a network of computer is known as network security, and the security that is related with interconnected network or internet is known as internet security. So, a network security is actually we are giving protection to the data that is transmitted over the communication network. We are giving protection for the data that is to be transmitted over a network. That is actually network security or internet security. Okay, so what do you mean by computer security? It's dealt with a particular computer information. Network security or internet security means we are dealing with a network of computers or an interconnected network. We are giving protection during data transmission. That is actually network security. Okay, next. When we are providing securities or why we want to provide some security for the data or the information. If there is some security violations, we are giving security to the data or we are protecting that computer data or network data. Okay. So we can discuss two examples for security violations. We have two users, user A as well as user B. They are authorized persons. User A wants to send some data to user B. So that data is a sensitive data or it's a secret information. If an unauthorized person is there, that is user C, if it is able to monitor that sensitive information and capture the copy of that message, then it is a disclosure of that message to an unauthorized person. So that is also that is actually a security violation. Okay, user A and user B, they are authorized person, they want to communicate some secret information. If that secret information is seen by or monitored by user C and captures that copy of that file or information, that is a disclosure of a message, that is an unauthorized access, so it's a security violation. And in the second example, there is a network manager D. They send some information or message to a computer E. If a user, unauthorized user is the user F, they monitor that communication channel and take a copy of that message or take that message, and that user F add or delete some information from the original message, it is also a security violation. That is actually a modification of message is done by the unauthorized user F. That is also a security violation. Okay, so what do you mean by computer net security, network security, or internet security? What are the examples for security violations? Okay. Next, what is OSI security architecture? So, the architecture for assessing effectively the security needs of an organization and to evaluate the security of an organization. So the architecture that is needed for assessing and evaluating the security needs of an organization is known as OSI security architecture. So this architecture mainly focuses on security attacks, security mechanism, and security services. So they are mainly deal with three aspects of security. One is security attack, other one security mechanism, then security service. So security attack means any action that compromises the security of a data or information is actually security attack. Security mechanism means a process that is designed to detect, prevent, or recover from the security attack. That is actually a security mechanism. A process or a device that is used for detecting, preventing, and recover from a security attack is known as security mechanism. And next one, security services. It is actually a processing or a communication service that enhances the security of a system. That is actually security services. Services that is used for enhancing the security of a data is known as security service. So OSI security architecture mainly deals with three aspects. One is security attack. What are the attacks that is present in a network or security related attacks? What are they? Security mechanism and security services. First one, security attack. Actually, security attack means any action that compromises the security of a data. So there are two types of security attack. One is passive attack and other one is active attack. Passive attack means they do not alter the attack that does not alter the message content. They only monitor the information or eavesdropping or monitoring the transmission, or actually it obtains the information that is to be transmitted. That is passive attack. Okay, there are two types of passive attack. One is release of message content and other one is traffic analysis. So security attacks are of two types. One is passive attack and other one is active attack. Passive attack means uh, they do not alter the message, or they didn't modify the message, but actually monitor the message and capture that message. That is actually passive attack. There are two types: release of message content and traffic analysis. We can see the picture. First one, release of message contents. There are two authorized users are there, Bob and Alice. Bob wants to send some message to Alice. In between, there is an unauthorized person, Darth. They read the contents of message from Bob to Alice. That is actually release of message contents. That does not alter that message, but only it reads the message from the Bob to Alice. This is the first passive attack, release of message contents. And the second one is traffic analysis. Here also there are two genuine or authorized users, Bob and Alice. Bob wants to send some information to Alice. In between there is an unauthorized person, that is Darth. This is an opponent. Opponent could determine the location and identity of the communicating host, and also it can observe the frequency and length of the message being exchanged. And this information might be useful in guessing the nature of communication that was taking place. Okay, so authorized persons, Bob and Alice. Darth is an unauthorized person. He can observe the pattern of message that is sent by the Bob to Alice by analyzing the frequency and the length of the message that is being exchanged. So this is actually traffic analysis. That means analyze the traffic and find out the location and identity of communicating parties. Also, it can analyze the frequency and the length of the message being exchanged for future needs, for predicting the nature of communication that was taking place. That is actually traffic analysis. So, the security attacks are of two types. One is passive attack and other one is active attack. Passive attack, it's actually divided into two: release of message content and traffic analysis. Okay. So moving on to active attack. That means it is an active attack. That means involves some modification of message, or it creates some false stream. So they are divided into four subcategories. One is masquerading or masquerade, replay, modification of messages, and denial of services. So active attack involves some modification of message or some alteration of a message by the hacker or opponent. Okay. It is divided into four subcategories. One is masquerade, second one replay, third one modification of messages, and fourth one denial of service. So first one, masquerade. That means a person or one entity pretends to be a different entity. One person or one entity pretending to be a different entity. Bob and Alice is they are authorized person. Bob wants to send some message to Alice, but actually Darth is sending some message, not Bob. But Darth is pretending to be Bob. Okay, message from Darth that appears to be from Bob. That is actually Masquerading. Masquerading means one entity pretends to be a different entity. Here, Darth is pretending that he is Bob. Okay, that is actually masquerading. Next active attack is replaying or replay the message. Replay means passive capture of data unit and subsequent retransmission to produce an unauthorized effect. Here also two authorized persons are the Bob and Alice. In between there is an opponent or as a hacker, that is Darth, who is an unauthorized person. So Bob is sending some message to Alice. Also it is captured by Darth, and he also retransmit the message to Alice. So Alice got two message or two copy of the same message. Okay, it will produce an unauthorized effect. Okay, that is replay. Replay means retransmission of message by the opponent or hacker. Okay, that is replaying. And the third one, modification of messages. It means some alteration of the message, or some deletion, or some reordering, or some adding some messages to the original messages. All are modification of messages. That means Bob and Alice they are authorized person. Bob is sending some message, but it is actually captured by the Darth, and Darth modifies that message by adding some messages, or by deleting some message, or some by reordering mechanism is used to produce an unauthorized message and then retransmit that message to Alice. So this type of active attack is known as modification of messages. Okay, and the fourth one, denial of services. Here one authorized person is that is Bob, and another entity is a server. Okay, denial of services means it prevents or inhibits the normal use or management of communication facility. Here Darth disrupts the service provided by the server. Darth disrupts or deny the services of server. That is actually denial of service. So security attacks are of two types, passive attack as well as active attack. Passive attack, there are two types, release of message contents and traffic analysis. Active attack divided into four: masquerading, replaying, modification of messages, and denial of services. Okay. In next one, what are the security services? First service is authentication. What do you mean by authentication? Giving assurance that the communicating entity is an authorized one, or communicating entity is one that it claims to be, if it is an authorized person or not. That is ensured by the mechanism and by the service known as authentication. There are two types of authentication. One is peer entity authentication and one is data origin authentication. Okay. And the second security services is access control. That is, access control means it prevents the unauthorized use of resources. That is, in a network there are a large number of resources are there. If there is an unauthorized access of that resources, it is to be prevented. That service is known as access control. Next is data confidentiality. We have to provide the confidentiality uh, of a data. That means data should be protected from unauthorized disclosure. That is data confidentiality. So there are four types of confidentiality: connection confidentiality, connectionless confidentiality, selective field confidentiality, and traffic flow confidentiality. Connection confidentiality means we have to provide confidentiality for all user data in a connection. Okay, connectionless means we have to provide the protection of all user data in a single data block. And selective field confidentiality, we have to provide the confidentiality in a selective field of within a user data. Traffic flow confidentiality, we have to provide the protection of traffic flow. Okay, that is traffic flow confidentiality. So first security service is authentication, second one access control, and the third one data confidentiality. Fourth one, data integrity. We have to ensure the integrity of message. That means we have to give assurance that data received are exactly sent by an authorized entity. That means it contains no modification, no insertion, no deletion, or no replay is there. We have to give assurance, or we have to ensure the data received are exactly sent by an authorized entity, or we have to give assurance that there won't be any modification or insertion or deletion or replaying of messages there. Okay, so there are five types of data integrity mechanism: connection integrity with recovery, connection integrity without recovery, selective field connection integrity, connectionless integrity, and selective field connectionless integrity. Okay. Next security service is non-repudiation. That means it provides protection against denial by one of the entities involved in a communication of having participated in all or part of the communication. That is actually a services that is used for denial of services. That means we have to provide protection against denial of services by one of the entities in a particular network. That is actually non-repudiation. So non-repudiation are of two types: non-repudiation by origin and by destination. Okay. So first two OSI security aspect already we had discussed. One is security attack and another one is security services. And the next one is what are the mechanisms that is used for providing security of data in a network. That is security mechanism. What are all the security mechanism? First one is encipherment, digital signature, access control, data integrity, authentication exchange, traffic padding, routing control, notarization, etc. are the some security mechanism. They are all known as specific security mechanism. We have to study only the names of this security mechanism, not in a detailed version. And another one is pervasive security mechanisms is also the one is trusted functionality, security label, event detection, security audit trail, security recovery. All these are the security mechanism that is used for providing security over a network. So already we had discussed the three aspects of a OSI security architecture. One is security attack, other one security mechanism, then security service. Okay. Next we can discuss about what is the model of a network security. So there should be a sender as well as a recipient. Sender is sending some messages or some secret information to the receiver. So For providing the security for this data, we have to transform the original message into some form. Okay, that is actually known as securing the message. That secure message is transmitted over a channel. Then it is received by the receiver. At the receiver or recipient end, that secure message is needed a transformation to original message. Okay, so these are all done by some trusted third party. Okay, sender is sending some message to receiver. So at the sender side as well as in recipient side, there is a need of transformation of that message for securing that message, for giving security to that message. That is done by some trusted third party. Clear? If it is an opponent is there, it will act in a communication channel. Okay, this is actually a model for network security. Okay, so the model for network security contains sender, recipient, and a secure message, and there is a need of transformation at sender side as well as recipient side, and there should be an information channel or communication channel for providing data transmission. Also, there is a trusted third party for providing secure transformation at the center and the recipient side. If there is a opponent, that will act in information channel. Okay, these are all about the basics or the introduction about computer security, network security, and OSI security architecture. Okay, thank you.